Do you like baseball? I'm watching MLB nowadays. These days, Korean players Young-Hoo Lee and Hae-Sun Kim are playing in the major leagues, so I feel very good. The heat map chart, which is the chart we're going to learn today, is related to the hot and cold zone you can see when you watch baseball. Let's take an example of Young-Hoo Lee's hot and cold zone. Red zones mean the batter hits well there. Blue zones? Not so much. This simple color map shows a ton of information. Where to pitch, where to avoid. And the best part? You understand it instantly, even without reading a single number. This is a perfect example of a Heatmap, a chart that uses color to show the intensity of data. And it's not just for baseball. From sports analytics to business dashboards, Heatmaps help us find patterns fast. In this video, we'll dive into what Heatmaps are, how they work, and how you can use them to tell clearer, more compelling data stories. Let's make a heat map using Flourish. If you press New Visualization in Flourish and search the heat map, you can see that various types of heat maps come out. I think I've seen the map-shaped heat map on the far left a lot on the news. Let's use a categorical heat map template. In the Data tab, you can set several items and categories and set evaluation indicators for each. I'll get the Excel example data. And I'll change the names for each item. I'll also change the title. I will designate the items to be displayed on the x-axis as the time column, the items to be displayed on the y-axis as the date column, and the items to be displayed on the value as the temperature column. Ta-da! You can make a heat map in this simple way. Let's go back to the Preview tab. You can change the overall atmosphere with a theme. In the Colors tab, you can change the theme of the evaluation index or assign a color to each. Other than that, you can change various details. If you're done, press the Export and Publish button to save the photo. Now you can make a heat map chart using Flourish, right? So, what exactly makes heat maps so effective? 1. Color encodes value. First, heat maps turn numbers into colors. The higher the value, the warmer the color, like red or orange. The lower the value, the cooler, like blue or purple. This visual contrast makes it incredibly easy to spot highs and lows in the data. 2. Immediate pattern recognition. Unlike tables or raw numbers, heat maps allow us to see patterns immediately. You don't need to calculate anything. Your brain does the work just by looking. Clusters, gaps, outliers, they all stand out naturally through color. 3. Scalable. Heat maps work with both small and massive datasets. You can apply them to a 3x3 grid or across thousands of data points in a complex system. They're flexible, whether you're analyzing website clicks, sales by region, or temperature across time. 4. Context matters. But remember, colors can be misleading without proper context. That's why choosing the right color scale and range is crucial. Always make sure your audience understands what each color represents. In short, heat maps simplify data. They replace complexity with color and help us make faster, clearer decisions. But like any tool, heat maps aren't perfect. 1. No exact values. First, heat maps show trends, not precise numbers. If you need to know whether a value is 72 or 75, a heat map might not be the best choice. 2. Color perception issues. Colorblind users, for example, might not distinguish between red and green. So it's important to choose color palettes that are accessible to everyone. 3. Overuse can be confusing. Third, too many colors or too much detail can overwhelm the viewer. Heat maps work best when used to highlight key trends, not to show everything at once. 4. Sensitive to scale. Finally, heat maps are highly sensitive to scale choices. The same data can look completely different depending on how you define the color range. That's why setting the right scale is just as important as the data itself. So, while heat maps are powerful tools, they must be used carefully and thoughtfully. Understand their limitations, and you'll use them more effectively.